All right, let's do this. Hey guys, I'm Tom the Tech Chap, and I've got the new Microsoft Surface Go 2 with me here. And I want to give you guys my impressions after using it for the past couple of weeks. Because the Surface Go 2 is such an interesting laptop, well, tablet really, with an optional keyboard to make it a 2-in-1. The fact that this starts from just £380 or $400, and you get this beautifully designed Windows tablet, which looks and feels much more premium than the price would suggest, and also this gorgeous 10.5-inch Pixel Sense screen, is on the one hand incredible value for money, but the problem is really what you're going to want to do with this is pay a bit more and get it with a new Core M3 processor. It makes a big difference to performance, and also you get more RAM and more storage. But once you do that, and then you add on the Surface keyboard, which you're probably going to want to do, then it does start to get a little more pricey, just north of £700. And at that point, you could buy some pretty decent laptops. So it's such an interesting dilemma that it starts off really cheap, but the one you'd want makes it quite expensive. But before we get into all that and whether you should buy it, let me run you through what's new and what it's been like to use. So firstly, we've got this slightly refreshed design. It looks and feels almost exactly the same as before, but they've trimmed the bezels around the edge. Thank God, because the original one had some pretty chunky bezels. I still think they could have gone a little bit further, although of course if you are using it in tablet mode, then you're going to want to use that for your sort of thumb rest. But what it means is they managed to fit in a 10.5-inch screen up from 10 inches on the original Go. So it's just a slightly sleeker, slightly more modern looking tablet, but in terms of dimensions and weight and build quality, it's essentially identical to before. We've got this awesome hinge, which you can use at any angle up to about there. And that's a really nice angle if you are doing some digital drawing. Perhaps you do invest in the Surface Pen, which will cost you $100 extra. And then if you go for the keyboard, it just snaps on. And then we've got this second layer of magnets, which then pop up. So again, you've got a slightly better angle for the keyboard. As you might expect though, using this on your lap isn't the most comfortable experience. It's not particularly heavy, so it doesn't dig in, but I think because of the smaller form factor, it kind of feels like it's going to fall between your legs, and yeah, it's just not particularly comfortable to use. I'd definitely recommend a table or a desk. Just quickly guys, a big thank you to Surfshark VPN for sponsoring this video, and even though I'm not traveling much right now, I still use Surfshark all the time on my laptop and my phone to browse the web safely, as it helps prevent ads, trackers, malware, and even phishing attempts. Plus it's handy for accessing websites and TV shows that I can't normally get here in the UK. And the best part is I've teamed up with them to give you guys 85% off and 3 months extra free. So just click the link below or enter the code TechChap at checkout. So why not give Surfshark a try? Other changes include a faster USB-C port. It's still not Thunderbolt 3 unfortunately, but now it's USB 3.1 Gen 1, which means it supports 10 gigabits per second transfer, up from 5 on the original Go. So you can output from this to a 4K monitor at 60Hz or dual Full HD monitors at 60Hz, which is more than enough for most people. And crucially, you can charge through the USB-C port if you want. So if you don't fancy bringing the Microsoft Surface connector with you when you go traveling, then you can also use your USB-C charger for your phone. So the port selection is pretty limited. Just this one USB-C port, a headphone jack, and the Surface connector. Although you can also buy Microsoft Surface Dock, and that'll give you a few extra port options. The 8-megapixel rear camera and the 5-megapixel front camera are the same as before, although actually quality is really good. The webcams on Surface devices are among the best on any laptop or tablet. But what is improved now is the fact that we get dual far-field, what they call studio mics, so audio quality for your webcam chats will be better. Okay, here's a question. Would you call this a webcam or a selfie camera? I'm not sure. It's a webcam on a laptop, but then a selfie on a phone. I don't know. Anyway, this is being shot with the front-facing 5-megapixel, can't even speak, 5-megapixel camera. And one of the things I love is it's just so portable, being a tablet, that I can carry you around and then plonk you down on a table or a desk, adjust the stand, and then we can continue our super important business meeting or whatever it is we're doing. So hopefully this is giving you an idea of the audio and video quality from the Go 2. Honestly, it is one of the best front-facing cameras you can get on any laptop or tablet, to be honest. So if you are doing lots of web calls, Zoom conferences, Microsoft Team chats, whatever it is you do, then this really is a selling point of the Go, I think. We also get faster Wi-Fi 6, previously it was Wi-Fi 5, and also a ever so slightly more powerful processor, the 4425Y, that's up from the 4415Y. But really the big upgrade in terms of performance is the option to spec this with the Intel Core M3 8100Y processor. It's an 8th gen chip, it's still Y series, so it's super low power, but it's significantly faster than the Pentium. So this is where things get a little bit tricky, because I've got the one up from the entry-level spec. It has the slower Pentium processor rather than the M3, but we get 8 gigs of RAM and 128 gigs of storage. And it'll set you back £530 or $550 by itself. That's $130 more than the base model. But to be quite honest, anything beyond browsing the web using Edge, working in Office, watching Netflix, or perhaps letting your kids do their homework, performance starts to become an issue here. So if you do need more power for a bit of photo editing, or to have more than a couple of Chrome tabs open at the same time, then you'll want to pay £620 or $630 for the Core M3 model, which also gets you double the RAM and storage. So personally, I'd recommend the M3 spec. In benchmarks, it's between 60 and 100% faster than the Pentium. But really, it all comes down to your budget and how you'll use it. Now, in terms of battery life, 1 hour of YouTube used 14%. That was at 50% brightness with power saving mode. And over the last couple of weeks, I'd say I've been getting about 7 hours of general use from this, which is okay, but I've really not been pushing it very hard because you can't. I mean, Lightroom kind of chugs. As I say, having more than a couple of Chrome tabs open, it starts to get slow, so you can only do light use with this. But, with that said, it'll still get you through a full day. I would definitely recommend buying this with the type cover keyboard though. It does add an extra £125 on top, which is quite a lot, but I think it makes it much more usable if you actually want to get some proper work done. I mean, this ships running Windows 10s, which is kind of nice if you're just going to give it to your kids because it's a more locked down, faster version of Windows. Although you can switch back to full fat Windows in just a couple of minutes and it is free, so it doesn't really make a difference there. But yeah, I would recommend the type cover. The fully backlit keys are lovely to type on. The same experience really as the proper Surface keyboard, albeit with a little more flex. And the Precision touchpad is smooth and responsive, and a pretty decent size actually. But then of course, if you don't fancy using it, you can just take it off and then carry on watching your movie or doing your Zoom call or whatever it is you do on your computer. So the big question, should you actually buy the Surface Go 2? Well, it depends on you. It depends how you're going to use it. I still wouldn't recommend it as a primary laptop because I think it's just a bit too small and a bit too underpowered unless you're doing the most basic of tasks. Still, I would recommend paying that extra and going for the M3 model and also tack on one of these guys. But then, as I say, that puts you just above £700. So at that point, you can need to ask yourself, do you need a tablet, whether it's for digital drawing or the extra portability of it? Because if not, you could get a much more powerful clamshell laptop for similar money. But there's no question, this is a beautiful device with a fantastic screen. The peripherals that you can get with it, the peripherals you can get, including the type cover, the Surface Pen, and the Surface Mouse, means that yes, while it does start to add up, it is a lovely experience. And considering the cheapest £380 model is fine for students, office work, and basic web browsing, then considering the quality of the screen, the build quality, the fact that we get 2 cameras built in, and the flexibility of being a 2-in-1 if you go for the keyboard, it's pretty versatile for the money. But importantly, this isn't your only option, because if you do want that extra performance for a bit of photo and video editing or a little bit of Photoshop, then really it's the Surface Pro 7 that you should be buying, which will cost you a few hundred more. But as a cute little tablet, laptop, 2-in-1, affordable second device thing for your kids or to do some emails on, then this is great. It really is all you need. And if you do want to make this the ultimate portable device, you can also pay 100 more and get it with LTE support. But what do you reckon? Would you be tempted by the Surface Go 2? And if you were going to buy it, which spec would you go for? Let me know in the comments below. Thank you so much for watching, guys. I hope you enjoyed the video, and I'll see you next time right here on the Tech Chap. Oh, and don't forget to check out Surfshark VPN. Click the link below or enter the code TechChap for 85% off and 3 months extra free. I use it all the time with the Chrome extension, the desktop, and also the phone app, so why not give Surfshark VPN a try?